Hello and welcome back. I've taken a number of items off the layout in the last week, so you can see that passing loop there is quite clear now. So I'm just going to move this pannier tank over there. I'm going to bring her back round and get her off the inside lines so we can clean the track there as well. So it's been a little while since we've done the track cleaning, so we'll just bring her around nice and gently. I've already switched the points nice and gently through there. We'll just bring it to a stop at the old level crossing there. There we go. Now I think we'll just switch the points by hand before we forget about them and have an accident. So we'll just click those across. And then I've got the old LMS Jinty, which was down by the engine sheds, and we'll use that to pull the old track cleaning car. The blue diesel shunter I've been using is beginning to develop an intermittent fault, which I haven't got around to solving yet. So you can see I've just advanced the pad around a little bit, so we've got a clean bit there. You can see the two dirty marks there where I've just tested it against the rail. So I'll just get this set up so we can drag this around, and we'll get all the old points open just here. We might as well just do them by hand. And then we'll have a look at the passing loop, and we'll have a look at the sections I can hold trains in. So some people have asked questions about why there are so many isolating tracks in there, and it's just so I can stack trains. If you look in the last video, you had trains standing there and there, and then I can keep them also standing over there, and I can back one into this little spur at the back there. So I'm just going to put the old track cleaning car on the rails and then put some of these weights in it so we get a really good contact with the surface. So it gets a little bit more cleaning done that way. So we'll just hook that up. Got plenty of these bits and pieces of metal in. There we go. We'll give this a good soaking with some fluid here. So they always used to sell those capsules, sort of rubber vials that you pull the top off and then pour it all in. I think there's a single-use thing, so we'll give it a go there. That's fairly damp, and just feel down the bottom there. That's nice and damp. So we've spilt a bit on there, but as it's petrol, it will dry out without leaving too much of a mark, we hope. So we'll just put that to one side, and then we'll give it a little power, and away she goes through the points, and we'll just run around. So we'll just follow that all the way around nice and gently. It took ages since I've cleaned this passing loop, so it really is quite dirty and greasy now. So this is going to do it a whole lot of good. And just follow that round. There's always better things to do than cleaning track, isn't there? It is quite dull. So we'll just run this back into that spur, and we'll stop it there. And then we'll move it back forwards again. Sorry about the old shaky camera work here. And we'll just bring it to a stop again. There we go. Uncouple that. We'll just have a swift look at the damage underneath. We'll just take those pieces of metal out. See, that's a fair bit of cleaning going on there, isn't it? So that can only do it a bit of good, having all that off the rails, I think. So I don't like fiddling with the points by hand now they're all electrified, so I'm just going to update the lever frame. So that's number 18. That's the point I just threw by hand, which let after I put the GWR pannier tank in the siding there by the level crossing. So if I pull that forward, so that's in the set for curved theoretically there, so I know I've just made it straight. So it'll click when I bring it forward. So that's just gone curved again, and as I bring it forward, it'll throw back the other way. You've just heard it click in the background. And I fiddled with number 4 as well. So there we've got number 4. So that was into the passing loop, so I flipped it open with by hand. So if I roll that backwards there, you can hear that just click. And as I roll it back again, it clicks back again. So yeah, probably best just to stick to using them by the switches, but if you're at the far end of the layout, you end up throwing them occasionally by hand just for convenience. These green lever frame switches are for the isolating tracks, so when they're thrown forward, we've got the isolating track just passing current through it, and when they're backwards like that, they're actually cutting the current, so they are doing their job and isolating. Apart from this green switch here, which is for all the lights on the layout, I've been far too lazy to put more than one lighting switch in, so everything goes off in one go when you throw that, and then when you bring it back again, everything comes back on again. I suppose I could get around to put an extra switch or 2 in, so I could light different things up, but I tend to just switch it all on or switch it all off. So when I was watching that piece of video back, I noticed a very, very loud hum the old iPhone here has picked up when I was looking at these switches. And we were saying that the switches, when they're in the forward position, the points are set to straight, these black ones, and when they're in the back position, they're set for curved. So quite a simple system, but we must keep them updated, otherwise we forget. And that's where the old accidents happen. So as I say, as you come down this side, you do pick up quite a loud hum from these clipper controllers. And then we've got the isolating tracks again, forward passing current through, backwards cutting the current through that particular piece of track. And I think it's this controller in particular which has quite a hum on it. So I did fiddle with number 4, and we have now cleaned that track, so I'm going to close that while I'm here, and then we'll clean the inside line. So I've just got the old Ginty and the track cleaning car onto the inside line there. We'll just hook them up. We'll just give a little bit of fluid. It is still quite damp from before, so we'll just top it up a little. There we go. And then we'll use the old hand controller again. And we'll get around a couple of times in each direction. So we'll minimise the talking whilst this is happening, because the phone does tend to jump for the sound of the train. So off we go. There we go, a gentle stop there, and we'll just go around a couple of times in the opposite direction. And that will probably keep that line in good shape for another month or so. As I say, there's so much track, you can't do it all at once, so just a little bit at a time. We'll just open points 11 there into the station. We'll bring out the Princess with the LMS coaches. Great sound when she moves off with the chuff chuff sound in the tender there. Smoothly through points 11, and we'll bring her to a stop there, and we'll switch those again. And then we'll take her back alongside the station, just beyond points number 9, the double crossover between the inside line and the loop there. Nice stop, and then we'll switch the points. There they go. And then forward we go into the loop. Nice and smoothly through there. Looking excellent. No derailments. And off around the loop we go. Now we'll bring her all the way along up towards the coloured light signals, and we'll bring her gently to a stop just before isolating track 4A. So there's the old Princess now in the passing loop. Now she's protected from the current here by 4A. Coming through the inside rail on that point, see the point blade can't protect that line, so the current just passes straight through that one. But it is cut on this one, so we've got the isolating track on the inside rail there. And we just move back down coaches, and she's protected from the current coming in at the other end isolating track 4B on that inside line as well. So now we'll move this pannier tank locomotive with those GWR Caledonian coaches back around to the loop. So we'll come through points number 18 there, nice and smoothly. It's such a smooth run of this model. Now we'll move alongside the station, and we didn't close points number 9, the crossover into the loop before, so we'll just come straight through them, and again very well behaved, and a nice gentle stop. Now when we close the points there, we've cut the supply of power to the loop, so we'll use the feed supply from the outside line to the inside, and then we'll be able to back it up into the spur. And she'll come to a gentle stop just after isolating track number 4E there, just at the end of the loop. To get that pannier tank to move once it was in the passing loop and it was closed to the main line, I just opened up this feed here, so we've got the power clip there taking the feed straight from the outside line there to the passing loop, and we can just switch that on and off with one of those little micro switches I've got on the board. And if we move further along, we've got the old pannier tank just sitting down here with the GWR coaches just sitting in that spur there. Just have a look at that, and we've got that homemade isolating track just down here. You can see it just there, it's isolating on both rails. For a train running off the rails, it only needs to be isolated from one side really here, but I do have plans for some wiring where I could run 2 trains from the catenary at the same time in opposite directions, and when I do that it would be very, very handy to have both these rails isolated, so I could hold the locomotive in this spur. So we'll just get something else ready to go into the loop there. So we'll take the Type 2 out of the sidings. There we go. Bit growly on the old motor there. Nice stop. And then we'll switch the points. And then we'll move her back and we'll pick up those Freightliners. I think we've got those. And then off we go. Nice and smooth through those points, and we'll switch those behind her. And off to a gentle stop about there, I think. Now we're going to separate those, and we're going to run around the layout with a Type 2 and pick them up from the other end. So I think reversing those over the double crossover is just asking for trouble perhaps, so all the way around. Now as we come around here, we're going to have to remember to switch points 18, because we forgot to close those when we came out of them with the pannier tank a few moments ago. And then we're going to gently roll up to them, and we've got them, and we're going to keep it going, and we'll push it on right the way around, and then we'll just go beyond points number 9 again. Nice gentle stop there, and then we'll switch those, and then we'll bring the whole lot forward through the crossover and into the loop, nice and gently, and we'll bring her to a gentle stop just before isolating track 4B there. And we should just remember to close points number 9 now we've finished with them. So there's isolating track 4B, that's already closed, so no current's passing through there, and we've got the brush Type 2 just pulled almost up to it, and we've got these wonderful container wagons, and the last couple are just sitting over isolating track 4C, which is the homemade one, which is double isolating track. So when we throw the switch, you can just see down here, that's where it's positioned, just under this container there. So when we throw the switch, we'll be able to pull something else up behind these containers, and the old brush Type 2 will stay just where she is now. Also the Princess will stay exactly where she is, and we've got that flexibility just to stack things in that, what I call the passing loop. We'll just switch a handful of points there,
we'll get ready to get that blue DMU on the left out onto the inside line and through onto the loop. Great sound of those milled wheels on the steel track. And we'll switch those points behind her, and we're going to bring her straight through points number 7 onto the inside line and then gently to a stop just over that diamond crossing. Not a great place to stop on a diamond crossing. And then we'll move her back just beyond points number 5 there, and then we'll switch those, and then we'll bring her through onto the loop, really well behaved, and we'll bring her forward just beyond isolating track number 4D there.
So we've got the Princess sitting there between 4A and 4B. We've got the Type 2 with the Freightliners between 4B and 4C. Obviously the wagons can go beyond it because they've got no pickup on them. And then between 4C now we've got the old DMU, and she's protected by isolating track number 4D back there. So that leaves the rest of this track back here. We can bring something else in through points number 5 and stand it on there independently, or we could use the crossovers to achieve something else. So plenty of flexibility.
I think we'll take advantage of the last spot on the loop there, and we'll take the coronation out of the engine shed there. We'll just get the turntable into position and then smoothly out of the engine shed up onto the turntable there. There we go. And we're going to rotate it counterclockwise, and then off we go through point 17 and number 18. And we'll switch 18 behind her, off around alongside the station, and we'll stop just before points number 9 there. And then we'll switch those, and we'll take her through points number 9. We'll stop her before isolating track 4D, otherwise she'll come to a stop. And then we'll switch number 9, and then we'll open the feed so we can take her back into the final waiting position. So I'm going to switch points number 10 now so we can get the pannier tank out, and I am going to cut the feed from the outside line to the loop because the coronation could move if I've got both inside and outside lines fed together. There we go, a nice stop just beyond the crossover number 10 there, and we'll close those and we'll take it back alongside the station. There we go, nice gentle stop.
So there we have the old coronation. We've brought her around the layout and through points number 9 here. So she leaves the inside line, crosses the outside line and onto the loop. Gentle stop just before isolating track 4D because there's no current past there. Switched the old points behind her and then opened up the feed from the outside line to the loop by using the micro switch to make this section of track live. In fact, the whole loop would be live, but it's dependent on how the isolating switches are set, obviously. And we just backed her up between number 9 and number 10, cut the feed, and then we opened points 10 here. Again, another double crossover from the inside to the loop, and we then opened isolating track up number 4E back there, so we got current to the spur. We brought the GWR tank through the crossover and then switched the points behind her and then backed her up to the station. So that's her all ready to go. So it's quite flexible. Of course, if the loop was completely empty and you just had isolating track 4C over here, just switch so it's cut the current. You could use it as two separate sidings. You can bring in a train from this direction or bring one in from that direction, and they're completely independent of each other. So that's just another use of it. Also with the catenary, I can hold one beyond 4C over there with the train operating off the overhead and one this side of 4C. So it's quite flexible. So this little spur on the end of the loop really does give quite a lot of flexibility, makes things more interesting. So with the use of the feed I've got over there, I can move things around once the loop is closed as well. So there I've got the old coronation, and again using locomotives with the overhead catenary adds different permutations. There are too many really to go into today to demonstrate. So we'll just move on around there. We've got the old DMU sitting over there, and then we've got the Freightliners with the Type 2 sitting nicely there, and then we've got the Princess with the LMS coaches there. So haven't got them in, we could let them out, but I think that's for another day really. And we've got isolating track 4A, so we'd need to switch that so it supplies current to the Princess, and open points number 4, and away we go. But I really think that's it for this week. If you look back again next week, we'll have something else interesting to have a look at. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye now.